All right, this week we had a short notice replacement step in, and I usually like making late notice breakdown videos for you guys. Once I get the odds for these matchups, and obviously I am able to study both guys, I want to give you guys, what you missed out on the MMA Lockcast when I was unable to break it down in its own segment here. So for this one, we're going to be talking about a new addition to UFC 317. I believe it goes down either as the first, second, or third fight of the night, where we got Christopher Ewert, I should say, coming in at minus 160 in this middleweight matchup, going up against Jackson McVey, who comes in at plus 140. Now, just a quick backstory regarding this matchup. It was supposed to be Jackson McVey against Cedric Dumas. McVey obviously coming in on short notice, and it seemed like that was a fight that the UFC scrambled to put together just over the last 2 weeks to try to fill out this 317 card a little bit more, along with that Jonata Diaz and Alvin Hines fight that we got. But Dumas, and probably the most hysterical reason as to why a fighter cannot compete, was unable to get an ankle monitor off him for a crime I believe that he committed in April or something like that. But, was unable to get the ankle monitor off, which is just, again, the most hilarious thing you'll ever freaking hear in terms of the UFC. So in steps Fury FC product Christopher Ewert, who is already supposed to fight on the Contender series this year. He gets to skip that. Now he gets right into the UFC and takes on another short notice UFC debutant. So starting off on the Ewert side of things, who's 7-0, has, I believe, 5 finishes in his 7 wins. Last time around, defeating Reese Watkins in a matchup where he was able to utilize his power punching approach, solid pressure, good pace, walking him down, landing some big shots, ate some clean shots himself, but he really seems to like to throw down with those punches, with his striking, likes to kind of command the pace of the octagon as well with the way he moves forward and throws big shots. He does leave himself a little bit open to get hit by superior strikers, and I wasn't the most impressed from his grappling defense from what I saw. There were opponents that were able to get him down with relative ease and then transition to dominant positions, but you got to believe that those are aspects of his game that he's trying to round out so that he can become a more complete mixed martial artist. To me, looks like he's just a good brawler, slugger, striker. And he'll definitely get tested in the UFC, especially with his grappling, and especially this weekend against Jackson McVey, who really likes to apply that grapple-heavy pressure by taking opponents to the ground, looking for submissions or TKO opportunities from that top position. He's 6-0 as a pro, 6'4" at middleweight, so he's definitely going to be towering over Christopher Ewert in this matchup. And the big question mark about Ewert is his ability to go into deep water and still be successful. All of his wins have come in the first round, and I believe 3 or 4 of his wins have come in less than a minute. So he's going out there making quick work of a lot of his opponents, and let's be honest, some of them are tomato can level, which is what you normally expect from fighters so early on in their career. But this will be the first, I think Ewert's already passed a test or 2, whereas this will be the first true test for Jackson McVey. But the big question mark I have here is, will Ewert be able to deal with the grappling of McVey if McVey looks to choose that type of approach in this matchup? I think he will. I think he'll try to put the pressure on Ewert right from jump, just as he normally does. And from there, I think he ends up securing a takedown, and I think he'll be able to secure a submission finish because I think he is that slick, and is obviously his long, lanky arms, his lanky frame, helps him be a little bit more assertive from that top position as well. So if this starts leaking into the second and third rounds, that's where we start to have some questions about McVey, and I think that's ultimately what will keep me off of betting McVey, even though he is the underdog here. But if this line balloons some more, if we get him, in that plus 180, plus 200 range, I might have to be forced to take a shot at that point. But I think that this is a spot where McVey can showcase to Ewert there are some legit levels in terms of the grappling realm, and I think McVey is just ahead of Ewert in this spot. So there you guys go.